What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Action Sunday. This week, as requested from South Spaniel, I decided to review Hitman's Run, a little movie from 1999, which stars Eric Roberts. Now, I'm going to admit something right now is I like when I find hidden gems with Eric Roberts because here's the thing. Eric Roberts, he'll do any project. And also, another interesting thing you should know about me is that I'm technically 2 degrees of separation from this man because many moons ago, way before the pandemic, I used to work at a steakhouse in Chatham, New Jersey, and one of the guys I worked with, his name was Jesse Pate. And get this, not only was he the host sometime, where he would, greet customers at the door, he was also a part-time actor. And guess who he worked with? Eric Roberts. And they've actually worked on a movie together some time ago called Spreading Darkness. Yes. Possible future movie review in the future. So technically since I know him and he knows them, yeah, pretty interesting old lineage, if I may say so myself. But anyway, now I get that little thing out of the way. Let's talk about this movie. So when I heard about this movie, I had to do a little digging because I never heard of it in my life, or what this was about, or when Eric did this movie. Well, obviously, he did this many moons after he did Best of the Best, and of course, I've said this before. Best of the Best, quite possibly one of the best martial arts sports dramas before they turned into a shitting action series with each sequel worse than the first. So yeah, but anyway, besides so he plays a hitman named, I'm gonna get the names wrong, okay? He plays a hitman named Tony, but somehow he ends up going into the witness protection program, and he goes under a name by John Dugan. So then somehow, flashing forward 2 years later, the mob are after him. The CIA's not the CIA, the FBI is trying to protect him. There's the CIA involvement. It's a whole mishmash of crazy shit that happens. And not only is he trying to get back on a hit like that, he's also trying to protect this one kid who's been targeted by the mafia / well, I'm gonna leave it at that. But somehow the CIA does get involved in this, even though his friend is with the FBI. And if that makes sense. I was trying to make sense of it at a surface level. To me, I feel like this movie's the plot's just getting pulled in way too many directions. But looking at first, I feel like, okay, it's kind of interesting. I mean, Eric Roberts does bring the heat. I mean, my goodness, I kind of like the role he's in. It's like, so he's hit me up, but he's got heart. If that's the case, because I'm kind of paraphrasing the line from that that he's supposed to, from a character that he protects, which is this teenage kid whose father's in the witness protection program. So technically, doesn't that make him part of the witness protection program? Yeah, that was another problem. It's like wait a minute, wait, that's a plot hole. I'm like, wait a minute, why isn't he in witness protection program, but not? I mean, his father's in, but why isn't he? There was a whole lot of things that felt like was a bit of a mess. So besides that, the action was still top. I did like the cast. I did like the setting. So I like the fact that beginning of the movie, it's set in Jersey. Hey, gotta give love to the Jersey people. But then somehow it takes it over to Los Angeles, and that's where things get a little insane and crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's some great moments, especially character development moments for John Dugan or Tony, whatever his character's name. Yeah. Again, there's a bit of a problem where I'm trying to remember. Okay, his real name, then the name that he was given, because when you're in the witness protection program, you're given a different name. It's like you're no longer so and so. You now have this name, and you got a whole new life kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, crazy shit that happens, and then you got all this happens. You got the mob clearly after one guy, which eventually turns out to be him. So yeah, I'm like, wow, just crazy stuff all around. But again, a lot of intensity, a lot of great car chases. I will say this, but the shock value of seeing some of these familiar faces and star power would just shock the hell out of me. I mean, see Thomas Howell in this movie really shocked the hell out of me. And I met him. Yeah, another guy that I met, and he was a really cool guy. man, and then, of course, Damien Chapa, who I remember him as Ken Masters in the shitty Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter adaptation. He was in it. He played a really good villain. I'm not going to lie. I'm so used to him playing, like, a good guy or some kind of minor character, but here, he's a one level above, let's see, just like this ruthless, mob boss. Like, I would say, a certain mob boss. I don't know who I'm thinking of, but if that may, I'm trying to think. But yeah, you gotta get where I'm going with this. It's like a lot's happened. Again, that's my one problem with this, but everything else feels good. The last part of the movie, I think, gets a little too far-fetched and a little intense. It's like, okay, so where to now? So now they're in the harbor. I'm like, that's the only thing I'm gonna spoil for you. It's like somehow the final showdown ends up in the LA harbor kind of thing, and then they're like, let's see, he takes out one thing, he ends up killing the mob boss's fire, because, yeah, apparently there's two villains in this movie. You got the mob boss, Jamie Chaplin's character, and then you have his father, who's the real mastermind pulling the strings behind it all, and doing, a lot of cloak and dagger shit that really happens throughout the movie. And yeah, and it just, again, all this happens, he ends up doing this, but how they kill off Damien Chaplin is really good. I thought it was gonna be more like oh, just shoot him kind of thing. No, he dies off the most, I would say, okay, how symbolic, okay, kind of thing, like what he wanted to do. So yeah, and then by the end, it's like everyone's happy, and then they all ride off into the sunset, kind of, quote unquote, as I like. Yeah, I like it. It has its moments. Again, a lot of plot hole. I feel like there's a few plot holes where that maybe just scratch my head. The action's top. Again, like if I had to compare this to, say, Best of the Best, I mean, Best of the Best was incredible. I'll admit that. This one, I don't think matches up to that. I mean, I feel like if they ironed out a couple more details and kept some of the plot consistent without leaving so many things to be like, okay, why didn't this happen? Or wait, why isn't he doing this? That kind of thing, X, Y, or Z. Like, I feel like if they just kind of shuffled it around, ironed it down, and like, man, I think they would have had a much better product. I mean, I did like what they got. I mean, I did like everything. I mean, it's not a B movie by any chance. It's not a big budget blockbuster, but I feel like it's middle of the road. So it's an average movie. We're expecting it to be more like, I don't know, like a big, high intense, big time guns, explosion things. No, it's not. This is one of those. It's a mob movie. It's a slow, violent mob kind of thing with some twists and turns that you never expect coming. Interesting character developments and but by the end you're like, okay, all right, yep, everything's all resolved. Kiss, good night, kind of thing. So yeah, it again, like, not a terrible thing, but I feel like with the right combination, I think like this would have been a much better movie. But it's not terrible, I'll tell you that, because I don't know, who knows. But I'd say if you want to give this movie a watch, I found it on Tubi, but it's also available on Freevee. But again, like whatever you get, you'll probably enjoy yourself. Even if it is, and here's the thing: it's only just under an hour and a half. Like that, I feel like they do a good job. The pacing's fine. It's there, but again, I don't think it's going to hold a candle to Eric Roberts' greatest achievement, and that is, Best of the Best, and of course him being Falcone in the Dark Knight. So yeah. But anyway, if I had to give this movie a score, let's see. Like I said, it's not a terrible movie, but it's not a good movie either. So I feel like it's kind of middle of the road. So I'm gonna give this. Let's see. I've been bouncing back and forth about this, but you know what? I'm gonna give this movie maybe a 5.5 at best. I mean, maybe another repeat watching, and maybe maybe I can rank it up and give maybe a hard 6, maybe. Who knows? But again, this mob movie is not perfect. It is what it is, but I would say it's good for what it's worth. It's fine there. All right. So that does for this week. Let me know what you think. Give it a movie if you want to watch it. All right. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos.